When we were a motorized bicycle company, they said, "You'll never be more than that."
In Castner's world, things are lit by the light of the moon. It reflects on shiny things. I hold Castner's hand see as a place where lonely sailors go to. I guess that is where he makes his home. He asked me to understand what it's like to make the night your home. I try to understand. I try to. Kastner sleeps. I try to understand. I try to understand. I kiss Kastner on the mouth. I kiss Kastner on the mouth. I kiss Kastner on the mouth. Then sank down to the bottom of the sea.
If you're moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms,
spoiled, meltdown, face tattered guardian, a desperate tear clinging to his face, the fluid blinding his disturbed sight, revealing both him and his before.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Josh here with the R-Rated Show. Chilling on a Saturday night. How's it going? What's going on? Just relaxing. Got my freshly carved jack-o'-lantern hanging out behind me. 2XLs hanging back on the shelf. Just thought I'd jump on real quick for a little bit just to talk about things. Anybody wants to have a quick chit chat or bullshit around for a little bit? Here I am in the flesh. I'm getting ready to move actually in a couple of weeks, so I'm going to be doing a walk around of the nerd cave here, just for prosperity, just for the archives. This is my second incarnation of the nerd cave, and I like it. This has been a great nerd cave, really enjoyable, and I've added a lot of things, and I've a lot of memories in here. So I'm gonna do probably just like a video and then upload it, because I don't want it to be like a short, and I don't want it to be live. I think it'd probably be better just to do a couple walkthroughs and get it right, and then upload the best one of the horror dork cave 2.0. Just talk about all the different things in here and how it ended up being what it is and everything. Just, like, I didn't do that for the last one. Like, I really regret that, because I was in that nerd cave for oh my God. I was in that nerd cave for 8 years, man. I was in that nerd cave for 8 years. Like, I lived in that fucking nerd cave, and it was a studio apartment. So, I mean, I really lived in it. It was a pit of nerdom, and I was there, and I didn't even think, and I already had my YouTube channel going and my pocket. I didn't even think about it. And I just moved out, and it was gone forever. And I just really regret that. So this time I'm going to be documenting the nerd cave, for better or for worse. All of it is going to be in there. So, it's going to be probably like a 5-minute video. I just walk around talking, looking at stuff, and documenting it. I think really just more for me to pat myself on the back for being an awesome fucking nerd, man. But just, to look back in 10 years from now, I'll remember oh yeah, I remember that was a good time in my life, man. I really enjoyed it, What's up, lady? Oh, we haven't talked for a while. What's going on? How's the podcast world going for you? What's going on? How you doing? I'm glad you popped up in my shadow. In case you guys don't know, this is Jamie Sammons, the infamous podcaster. Just amazing podcaster, so good. We did a movie together. I think we did a commentary together. I think it was a couple years ago. It was Children Don't Play with Dead Things, which was her suggestion. It was so much fun. We had a really good time. I think it was probably one of the best episodes I ever did. Jamie's just so accommodating and cool. And she's a skeleton crew. She's been on all kinds of shows, but I always remember her from Skeleton Crew, which was she's just like just a sweetheart. And she knows her shit. She could school me 10 times over. Super smart, rapist wit, awesome. Thanks for chiming in. I really appreciate it, Jamie. Let's do something together again soon, I know my show is a little just kind of like evolved into this thing where I just doing live stuff, but I want to do more, long format kind of podcasting stuff again eventually when I move, like when life settles down again. And, you know, I would be more than honored if you would join me. Join me. And together we'll rule the podcasting dork universe or something like that. Or it'd just be fun to talk to you and laugh a little bit or whatever. But of all the episodes I've done and gone back and listened to, I actually really enjoy that one. I feel like I'm like a nut. I'm like a nut job, Like I'm all over the place. I'm like squirrely and like my thoughts meander and I shoot from the hip and all that. And I needed somebody who's grounded and you're that person. So like when Matt's not around, Matt's really good grounded. I have other guys. Nick's really good. He's pretty good. And you are too. I need that solid, that voice of reason, or else I just start ranting and stuff like that. So anytime you want to come on, you just fucking hit me up and you're more than welcome. But I'm glad you chimed in. I'd be glad to hear what you're up to, I know Skeleton Crew has been doing, not Skeleton Crew, but Banana has just been doing. I don't want to ruin the surprise. There might be something coming real soon from the old horrorphilia days. I'm not gonna say what it was or what it is. I don't want to ruin anything. I don't want to take away from their surprise. There's stuff coming. People are making things. They're doing stuff. They're evolving. So I just absolutely fucking love to hear that. But when it comes out, but Jamie, good to hear from you. So let me think about what's been going on with me lately. So I've been really preoccupied with getting ready to move. I've been basically apartment shopping. That is it sounds like it'd be just a simple thing. It's not. It's extremely difficult these days. Very demanding thing to do. Just because landlords and stuff really have these high benchmark requirements. I'm trying to level up a little bit. I'm trying to go from the nerd cave to a nice place. And really I'm trying to improve my life. So I've been focusing, my attention around getting better, doing achieving a new leveling up, getting an achievement unlocked here. And that's been really time consuming. But don't fret, it's been going well. I got a place that I really like on the ropes here. I just waiting to hear confirmation of 2 thumbs up. So, send me some good mojo. Say a prayer for me, light a candle, whatever it takes to fucking get this place locked in, and then I can start moving, which is going to be 2 weeks of craziness. But I've moved a lot in my life, so it'll be all right. But this is what I'm facing. I'm working full time and trying to move, and I haven't started packing yet. But you can see right here, I got these boxes ready to go. Scary, but fun at the same time. And starting in my life with a beautiful lady, and excited about that. And then basically just sitting around watching horror, carving pumpkins. And you know, I have seen Hellraiser. I have seen the new Halloween movie. I haven't watched any Chucky yet. I'm like, my girlfriend is watching the last season. I'm thinking, maybe she'll catch up to me. I actually really liked the last season of Chucky. I probably said that a million times already. That was really good. Very consistent with Chucky. And I'm dying to see the new season, but I haven't really cracked it open yet because I want to see, maybe she'll catch up. We'll watch it together, but temptation is killing me. Um, and I just been rewatching a lot of classics, always in October. I start with the original Halloween, Halloween 2. I watched actually Halloween 3. Every year I watch it, I'm like, okay, let's see if I can like actually get excited about this movie, because like all my horror friends just absolutely love like Halloween 3. It's, Tommy Lee Wallace, fucking genius, right? I don't, I just still, the first half of the movie I really like. And it really just becomes a slog at the second half, like just the Stonehenge thing, and it's confusing and all that. Like, I just don't really get it yet. But every year I give it a try because I'm like, maybe I'll level up to a point where I'll just really like watching it. But I like the atmosphere. Don't get me wrong, and I like the score. There's things I like about it, but as a movie, I just get like kind of sunk in my seat. I'm like, is it over yet? Is it over yet? I don't really get involved in it. I don't really get excited about it. So, then I watch 4 and 5. I actually love Thorn trilogy. I think it's just because of I know a lot of people don't like it because it bastardizes Michael and it changes, and like, it becomes a family thing and it's like, oh, this cult thing and whatever. But I like the Thorn trilogy. I just think I like it because it was when I was actually okay, so late 80s. I was actually like paying attention to this shit. So it was always on cable, it was always on satellite TV, and I don't know. I like Jamie Lloyd. I like the character. I like Daniel Harris. Her performance is really good, I think. I like me some Loomis. I like it's good Halloween atmosphere. I don't know. I'm not as critical of those movies. I like Curse as obviously the final installment of the Thorn trilogy. I like that movie too. Not as much as the first two, but I do like it. Um, I do enjoy it. So la di fucking da. That's what I'm into. I do like the Thorn trilogy. I do. Um, I know they're not perfect movies and they're kind of annoying at times and have their flaws and everything, but I actually went and watched the Blu-rays that I bought last year with the commentary tracks from the actor slash director, in there, and it was cool. It gave me some insights, a little here, a little there, little tidbits here or there, whatever. I really enjoyed those. I kind of get bored watching the movie over and over again, just like watching the movie as a movie itself. I kind of enjoy finding out more. Like I enjoyed the commentary tracks that the Blu-rays delivered. I thought they were pretty good. One of the interesting things was that Daniel Harris said in Halloween 5, when Loomis is all up in her face, giving her shit, like trying to get her to tell him things. She said, in the commentary, she said, his breath was just like reeking booze. So he must have been boozing it up in his trailer or whatever. I thought that was interesting. Really funny. I didn't know that. Like, I think I want to say that I've listened to these commentary tracks before years ago, but watching them again with the commentary tracks, like kind of like resonate with me a little bit more. And I thought they were good. So definitely recommend checking those out if you haven't done that yet. But I still love the Thorn trilogy, man. Like it's just let's see, am I pro P cut or T cut on 6? I would say I'm pro P cut. I like the producer's cut, better than the theatrical cut. But there's things about most. I would like to have a fan cut where there's the things. Let's have the R-rated cut where there's the things from the theatrical release and things from the producer's cut put together into one movie that I like perfectly. You know, this whole thing. I think honestly, like I know Howard Stern was supposed to be the DJ in that movie, and he turned it down. I think it would be a way better movie if he was accepted it and just said yes. But the faux disc jockey, shock jock guy they got in there, the actor, you know, it's very like mediocre. I think they probably, I don't know. It was a plot device, whatever, not great, but whatever. It is what it is. But I still love to watch those movies. I really do. What else? I watched Trick or Treat, not Trick or Treat, Trick or Treat, 1986, Fastway soundtrack. I've been listening to Fastway. October 1st, boom, Fastway, Trick or Treat soundtrack, like on the iTunes in the car, like nonstop. Especially the first two songs, I fucking love them. What a great album. Fastway fucking kicks ass. Really good, underrated 80s hair metal band. And it just gets me in the mood. And then I'm like, well, okay, when I'm ready, I'm going to watch Trick or Treat. Love that movie. Really good. Fun movie. It's got Gene Simmons from Kiss as a DJ. It's got, you know, a cameo twice in the movie. And of Ozzy Osbourne. And they're, you know, I know they splash more of the cover, but, you know, of course, that's the way they marketed movies back in the 80s. Like, you know, they just threw them in there to like make the running back or whatever. Like, oh, we'll buy the VHS because their face is on the cover or whatever. But I love that movie legit because I think it's sweet. You know, it's a really, it played off the whole satanic panic thing, but it really is a sweet, kind of innocent, fun 80s movie, you know? And there's a moment where the two main characters kiss at the end. I thought that was really well done. I like that shot, that moment, really good. Sammy Kerr stuff, you know, it's just very kind of generic. You know, it's not great, but it works enough. It's good enough for the movie and stuff. I wish they had just used like the dudes from Fastway or played it down, toned it down. I don't know. I mean, I guess Sammy Kerr is supposed to be like a demon kind of like a demon infused with a rock star who sold his soul to the devil kind of thing. And it doesn't quite work. It's really generic. Like I wish they had just had like a maybe a pre Sammy Kerr and then after Sammy Kerr, and like, you know, they kind of had this like burn makeups on him to try to make him look more evil, but it didn't really. Almost made you feel like more. For me, it made me feel more kind of like more bad for Sammy Kerr than like fear him. But I don't know. There's problems with the movie, but I always really love watching Trick or Treat around this time of year. So I just watched that tonight. What else have I watched recently? Some. Let's see. What do you think? Look at my shelf. I don't know. Somebody was telling me today about Smile. It's supposed to be really good. I'm interested to see that. Like, looks kind of creepy. I'm really interested to see that movie Megan, which is about like a little android doll, and she's like doing these. I don't know. It's like it's kind of very much like a Chucky ripoff, but it looks like almost like a level up, like almost like it's creepy girl doll, android doll who. It's basically like a ripoff of the Chucky reboot, you know, like a Child's Play reboot. They did it with a girl doll, and then it's just seems like the director has some really interesting ideas to make it creepy and fun and funny. And even though it's kind of a ripoff of that, like, you know, taking it in its own direction and everything. So I'm kind of excited for that. Kind of excited for that. Looks kind of fun. Smile, I want to see. Terrifier 2, I want to see, even though it says I've heard it has a really long runtime, like two over 2 hours or something for that movie. Like I like the first Terrifier, and I like the the original anthology Terrifier segment and all that. So I'm curious to see that. I was like disappointed to see that it was only in theaters for one day. So when I went back, I was like, I was gonna go this one day, and I was like, I'm tired. I'm not. I got off work. I was like, tonight's not the night. Maybe I'll go the next day, the day after. It was already gone. It was only like in theaters for like one day. Maybe if it's making money, they'll put it back in. But if it hits streaming, I'll definitely be excited to see it. Terrifier 2. It's got Felissa Rose and it's Terrifier. I mean, he's an up and coming star in this slasher world, I think. So I definitely want to see that. Oh yeah, so I saw the Hellraiser reboot. I guess it's not a reboot. I don't know what it is, a reimagining or something. Um, I was disappointed, honestly. I didn't like the main character. I'm not gonna spoil anything here, but I'll just keep it in generalities. I didn't really care for the main character and her boyfriend, and the characters in general were kind of like just bland and boring. Like, okay, so the original Clive Barker's Hellraiser was really intimate. I mean, it was a small setting. It was just a house and a minimal amount of characters, and then these otherworldly, ethereal characters that kind of invaded their personal space. And it was just a really simple, creepy, intimate story with some BDSM things and just talking about desire and sin. And this, like, it was in a weird way, even as like exotic as it was with the Cenobites and stuff, it was like a really humanistic story about these inner struggles of desire and how they can lead you down a path of, ruin. And so that's a really simple story that most people can understand because a lot of people go through that. And then this movie was just like a broaden everything. In some ways I like that. I like the cube. I thought showing some more intricate formations of the cube and going into the lore of the cube and showing things about that was really good. I like that. I liked the house was kind of interesting, but like this, it was just like this the druggy girl and her boyfriend and their friends and stuff. It was just like that wasn't doing it for me. I just wasn't vibing on it. And then the Cenobites I thought were interesting, but they totally did away with. I didn't think the new Pinhead was bad or anything like that. I thought she did a really adequate job, like, with the makeups and stuff I thought were interesting, but I thought like they were underwhelming. Like I wasn't really scared of them. They did away with the black leather, which I thought was like really crucial in the character designs. Okay. Yeah. Blocks BML. BML, my friend. Yeah, welcome to the chats. And yeah. Yeah, that opening scene was like, oh yeah, this is like wild, like they were luring us in with some, you know, tragedy, getting us hooked into this like really terrible thing. I'm trying not to. I don't want to give away any spoilers because it's opening weekend and people are still going out to see it. So I don't want to give anything away. So don't put anything in the chat that's a spoiler. But yeah, I thought that was. I didn't have any complaint with that. I thought that was it was interesting introduction to characters and like brutal at the same time. And I thought the pumpkin sequence was interesting, different take. And then, of course, David Gordon Green gives us the titles to the movie, which kind of clues you into where they're going, where he was wanting to go with this incarnation, this ending episode of the trilogy. And, you know, it was pretty much nothing that I expected. It was completely like a Ryan Johnson subverting your expectations kind of move, which Honestly, I didn't really like that. I thought I like it was like if you're gonna make this trilogy and I understand that COVID happened and it probably messed up their plans and they had to pivot and make the best out of it, make, lemonade out of lemons and all that stuff. Whatever. Okay, fine. But they pivoted so hard away from Halloween Kills. So, whether you like Halloween Kills or not, I kind of felt like 2018 to Halloween Kills at least had somewhat of a natural progression. They were following an idea, and then boom, you hit the third one, and it's like, well, we're gonna do this. We're gonna just try to tie it all together at the end, kind of. I don't know. The first time I watched it, I was like, what the fuck? Because I was like, I'm like, I wasn't expecting anything like mind blowing. Okay, my expectations were actually pretty low. But about half hour, 45 minutes, and I'm like, what the fuck is this movie? Like, what is it doing to me? Like, what is it? Get to the fucking point. Like, what are you trying to do? I was irritated because it just seemed like they decided that they had to do something that was going to be a total 180 away from Halloween Kills. So they moved it away 4 years away from, 2019. So they moved it away. Oh, sorry, 2018 to 20, now 4 years later, or whatever. And then you're like, okay, get it. Laurie's moved on. But it's like, what the? It was like, I was just scratching my head. It was just, I was trying desperately to be patient with the movie, and it was just really frustrating. And I was like, oh, they're gonna do that. Oh, they're gonna do that. Oh, it was like disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. There's things I liked in it, though. I mean, I'm not saying that I hated the movie. I mean, there's definitely worse movies out there, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It didn't work for me. I was when I watched it the first time, I was like, "This is a fucking terrible movie." That was my that was my initial tweet, and I took it down because I was like, "Okay, dude, you're being a dick. Like, other people want to go see this movie. You're just shotgunning your fucking opinion across the internet. Other people, want to enjoy the movie, so don't take it away from them. Like, I don't want to like piss on their fucking pants. You know what I mean? Like, I just whatever. So I took it down, but I was like, but I after the second viewing, I'm like, okay, so they're trying to subvert your expectations. They're trying to say this is the third one, just like Carpenter did with the third one. He changed it up radically, and so by doing that, they're being traditional in the way. It just didn't work for me. It was just you should have just done Halloween 3, the third one, Halloween Ends. They should have just been like fun, but it was like heartbreaking and boring and cliche and just I don't know, like just like irritating to watch. So I don't know, man. It wasn't for me. I didn't like it. And, when I see people that I really respect saying, I loved it, I'm like, well, it makes me think twice about my opinion. I'm like, I've seen it twice. I'm like, what? I didn't like it. I didn't I liked parts of it. There were things in it that I thought were really good. And there were things in it that I thought were just bafflingly like stupid to do. So it was extremely frustrating. But I'm just a fan and I just have to sit back and watch the movies that they make. And I mean, this is the 13th one or whatever. So I can't expect them all to be my favorite. But I don't know. I would have gone with a more. I honestly thought, okay, when they were talking about this movie, Halloween Ends, and I was like, I personally predicted, I was like, Laurie is not going to kill Michael. I was like, Laurie is gonna like probably get killed off at some point in a meaningful way, so that maybe the daughter or something can carry the torch on. She'll kill Michael. I was like, killing Laurie. I mean, Laurie killing Michael is gonna be the most obvious fucking thing in the world, and that's what they fucking did. I mean, it was just like even on that level, they just fucking disappointed me and stuff. But I did like, I'm sorry, I'm giving spoilers here. I'm trying not to as I'm ranting. Um, yeah, I agree, dude. Well, no, actually, let me think here. Let me be honest. I really cannot stand 2018, Halloween 2018. I cannot stand that movie. It irritates the fucking hell out of me. Um, I just can't stand the writing. Um, I don't know. Now, maybe time will tell. I'll say that it's a tug of war right now. I really don't like them in different ways. You know what I mean? Like I really don't like them in different ways. So it's a tug of war. I think Halloween Kills is probably the best one out of the three. Um, I thought maybe they were going to serve up like an like like I mean Laurie Strode's daughter died, Karen, and like that was like barely addressed in the movie at all, dude. It was like barely even mentioned. I mean, there was no like, I mean, she's, oh, my daughter died. They show the plaque, the thing with the hands on the wall. I'm like, you would have thought you would have saw some real grieving. I don't know, man. I mean, it's just, I mean, it was like Karen got stabbed at the end of Halloween Kills, and it was like, all right, like it was such a shocking moment. And I was glad it happened because I fucking hated Karen like with a passion. I mean, Judy Greer just doesn't do it for me personally as an actress, but she really grated me in these movies. But I thought like Laurie would have been like, oh my, like it would have changed her character, evolved her. But what it seemed to do was it just mellowed her out, and she bought a house and was like, I'm gonna go buy groceries now and like bake pumpkin pies and shit. It was like, what? Um, And so I was like, well, maybe she's making, her granddaughter her surrogate daughter and stuff, which I think kind of really there was a little bit of that going on, but it was like they were almost like equals and they were like sharing this like grief thing together. And there was no real hierarchy. They were just kind of equals. I think even though Lori was trying to be the protector, I don't know. It was just a fucking mess, dude. It was like, oh, it was like I thought they were gonna like give us they were come out of Kills into the third one ends, make like a transition there, maybe fast forward us a little bit, build up Halloween night, but it was like I wasn't expecting this whole side story. Basically, it was a story with Corey, like the fucking this Corey character. I don't know, dude. I was just and the typical girl was into the bad boy thing, boring, just fucking boring, man. Midnight Geek, yeah, dude. Weakest of the three for me as well. Very disappointed the way I was like, I liked the very end, and I liked the way that they ended. I don't want to give away stuff. I'm trying really hard here. I like the way that they resolved at the very, very end. Um, and ends makes sense. Halloween ends. I liked that. There was things I liked. I liked the struggle with Michael and Laurie at the end. I thought, there was some good stuff there, but there was also bad stuff intermingled, and people are comparing this movie with Friday 5, A New Beginning, and stuff like that. I can understand that. Um, I don't know. Maybe David Gordon Green was inspired by that. Maybe I don't know, but I just thought was like it could have made it. To me, there was a really simple, easy path to follow. I think that what happens is sometimes these directors overthink and they're like, I'm or they get egotistical. They're like, okay, I'm just gonna do this and I'm gonna fucking break the mold and then I'm gonna leave my mark on Halloween and you're all gonna be fucking like and they think they're gonna revolutionize this IP and make it their own in some way. Or maybe they just had no fucking clue what to do and they phoned it in. I just thought it was real bad, man. I just didn't it wasn't an enjoying experience for me. There were moments that I enjoyed, but as an overall thing, it was like really disappointing. It was like I leaned over to my friends in the middle, like right about 30, 45 minutes in the movie. And I said, what are we watching a fucking Halloween movie right now? What's happening? I'm confused. Like, tell me what's going on, you know? Um, maybe I'm simple-minded, but like a slasher movie should probably integrate the slasher into the movie pretty quick, especially when it's the third installment in a trilogy. Um, you know, so I understand they always tease the killer or whatever along, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I still digesting the whole thing. Like it just was basically a movie about somebody else and not about Michael Myers. And then they're like, okay, boom, we'll do this at the end. I thought Bacon Shape was cool. I thought I was fine with like the makeups. I thought, James U. Courtney did a great job. I like the Bacon Shape makeups, Krusty, Sewer Michael, and all that. I liked seeing Nick Castle cameo. I thought that was cool. Um, Allison, I thought was actually way better in this movie. I liked her character much more. I thought she was more fleshed out. She looked gorgeous. I thought she was a more interesting character in this movie. I liked Jamie Lee better in this movie as well. I thought she was a better character than in 20. I mean, obviously, she didn't really have much of anything to do in the last movie, which was also very annoying and disappointing. But I liked Laurie Strode better in this movie than I did the first two. So I thought that was an improvement. I mean, just the way she looked, I don't know. I liked it better than frizzy hair, paranoid Jamie Lee, Laurie Strode in the first movie. So she had more notes, things to work off of, and I liked the pumpkin she carved. I thought was cool. It was like that's a pumpkin that Jamie Lee would carve. I feel like she had better dialogue and all that. At least they tried to give her a little bit of love interest, I guess. Maybe like try to give her a future. See, I thought when they were setting that up, I thought maybe like they were doing it because it would make her death have more gravity. I actually thought like when she was gonna kill. So I'm trying not to give spoilers away. She was gonna do something in the third act of the movie, and I actually thought she should have done that because I think I would have liked that better in a way. I thought it would have been more interesting for the character to go out that way versus what they did, which was like predictable, expected, and all that. But I don't know. Whatever. I mean, it's a fucking mess, man. But honestly, I like these three movies better than what Rob Zombie did, even though I enjoy those movies in their own way. But this brought it back, I think, closer to home, closer to what Carpenter's vision was. I like the shape was always really good in all three movies. I thought the shape, look, and the feel, and the body language, and the carnage was all very good. Um, it was way better than what Rob Zombie did. It was way better than what 4, 5, and 6 did with the shape and all that. So you have to just it's a scale. It's like you get good things, you get bad things, whatever. I thought this brought it closer to what Halloween's supposed to be. I had a good time always going to the theater and seeing these movies with my friends, even if they weren't great. I bought them all, I bought one in Halloween 18, and I bought Halloween Kills on Blu-ray. So maybe they'll grow on me over the years. Who knows? But you know, all in all, I was entertained in some way. I was entertained in some way. Was it what I wanted it to be? Well, these days, rarely anything really is. So, but I am paying tribute to 2018 with my jack o' lantern here. So I can't give Gordon Green, what's his name, David Gordon Green, too much shit. I mean, he at least tried to please the fans and make it his own, and that's really the best you can do. And I think he did, a pretty all right job. Pretty all right job. But it was just this. I think that they just. I think that they nuked it. They overthought it. They just went. They were like, I don't know. They got some bad advice or something somewhere along the way, and they just really screwed the pooch with this whole Corey story. I just really think they should have focused on Lori Allison and Michael and brought in the story really personal and close, you know. But I just didn't think it worked that well. So that's just me. But if you like it, great. I mean, I'm jealous. Really, honestly, I'm jealous that you liked it. Um, so maybe I don't know. Who knows? I think somebody said in one of their reviews that like COVID fucked it all up because they were going to do kills and ends together and make it like this continuity thing. And then when they had to stop filming, they screwed everything up. And then they were like, okay, we gotta like redirect what the third movie is going to be, rewrite it and reshoot. And then that fucked everything up. And so they had to concoct this story. I don't know if that's true. I mean, it could be a rumor that somebody, just put into their video or whatever, but it does make kind of sense a little bit. But it was just it was just jarring, like I was really bored, like I was like, oh, we're getting like this romance story and the music didn't fit. My friend Todd said it seemed like an episode of Riverdale, which I've never watched, but um, I don't know, man. It was just such a too much time spent on developing a romance, and I wasn't going in trying to get into a romance. Like it wasn't going for this traditional slasher mold. So I thought, I know David Gordon Green's version of this was all envisioned to be darker and meaner and grosser, but it still had those traditional slasher elements a little bit with a little bit of like brevity and stuff. And like it just didn't. This movie just went like nasty Romeo Juliet, and then it tagged on Myers at the end, and you know really what it should have been, honestly, it should have been Laurie Strode's thing, and I like the stuff with Laurie and Allison. I thought that was actually good character building stuff, and them living together I thought was a good idea. And the new house and Laurie kind of shucking off like the whole Michael's after me because he's obsessed with me, and evolving past that and maybe trying to find some love and evolve. And but the whole thing got hijacked with the Corey thing, so that was just really a drag, man, because I don't give a fuck about Corey. So I think Pizzal said that like they should have introduced him early, the Corey character, and then built him up over 3 movies and then have him crescendo, if they wanted to make him a real character. But they just fucking slapped it on like the beginning of the movie. And it was just like, okay, you're gonna watch a movie about this dude, and then this shit's gonna be slapped on at the end. It's just, it bugged me, man. I didn't like it. So I don't know. I don't know if they were trying to do like a defensive thing by trying to say this is going to be the Halloween 3 of the series, like everybody hates that one. So if you hate this one, you know, maybe it's because you just don't get it, man, or whatever. So I feel like that was like a defensive move to do that. Like they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done that. I mean, everybody likes to see the credits on the screen because they love Halloween 3 or whatever. But I felt like it was a preemptive defensive move for them to go, you know, if you're a Halloween fan, well, you're gonna be disappointed. Well, fuck you, man. You know? It's like, gosh, I'm so fucking tired of disappointment. Jesus Christ. Can I just enjoy a fucking Halloween movie on Halloween? Why does everything have to subvert my expectations? Well, that's my final word on it. I'm just fucking over it. So that's it basically. I just want to come on, rant a little bit. If anybody wanted to chat, I'm glad you jumped in. I think I'm probably gonna just go ahead and jump off. I don't want to make this a really long video or anything. But if you jumped in, any last questions or anything you want to add into the chat, I'll add into the video here real quick. We'll say another 5-10 minutes, and I'm gonna hop off. But you wanna? Yeah, I was saying earlier, dude. I'm definitely. I mentioned Terrifier 2. Actually, I was gonna go see it one night. It was popped up in my local AMC, and it popped up, and I was like, oh man, yeah, I gotta go see that. And then I life, I was just like, I can't tonight, maybe tomorrow, next day, and it was gone. It was only in there one night. So if it comes back to my theater, I color me interested, man. Like I liked the last one a lot. Like people gave it shit, but I like the simplicity and fun of it. I wanted to go see this one. I heard it's over 2 hours long or something. If it comes back in the theater in the next 2 weeks, I'm going for sure. But I'll be happy to watch it on streaming. So yeah, dude, I'm definitely interested. I like Terrifier. I think it's cool. I like the last one, the fucking saw down the legs. It's a fun character, and I think that what they're doing with the character and what they're, the simplicity of the slasher thing is like really cool. I like it. So definitely Terrifier 2. I want to go see that. I saw the trailer for Megan. Looks really fun. The little android girl. It seems like a knockoff of the reboot Child's Play movie. And then I want to see Smile, which I heard's pretty interesting, which is calling itself the biggest horror movie of, whatever made the most money horror movie, whatever right now. So wild reactions to Terrifier 2. I haven't heard a lot of reaction from people about it, which is shocking because I follow like 24 horror groups and shit. And like usually somebody says something. I think somebody said something about being too long that was good, but it was just too long. Like it was too much of it, which I tend to agree with that. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I'm just saying with my horror movies, like I like a short sit. Like I like an hour and a half, an hour 45, and I'm done, like that's enough. 2.5 hours or 2 hours, whatever, seems like a long movie for Terrifier. Like maybe, I don't know, like why would they wouldn't edit it down to just be like a crisp like horror movie for October? But if they're, it's probably gonna, like the last movie Terrifier, the actual movie itself was like pretty gnarly, and so they're probably upping the ante here, following the whole, like, I don't know, what is it, what is I'm thinking of, uh I can't think of the movie series. I don't know. It seems like a lot of modern horror franchises now, they just kind of follow that model, which is like, okay, we're just going to up the ante, up the ante. I mean, that's classic horror too, I guess. But, if we're going to spend the money on it, we're going to have this amount of kills, whatever. But they also like fucking like neuter the shit out of movies these days. So who knows? Hyper violence. Yeah. I mean, like Hostel, Saw, I'm always like lukewarm on that shit. Like I like my stuff more campy slasher stuff. So it doesn't have to be over the top hyper violence. It can be, gory but not crazy. It doesn't need to be crazy, but it just needs to be inventive and fun and well directed and everything. So, but dude, I would love to see fucking Terrifier 2 in a theater, totally, and hopefully they bring it back. If it makes enough money, maybe they will. I mean, AMC just kind of like pops things up as an extra showing. They'll do like one showing, like, here, you want to watch this shit? Can we make some money off it? Whatever. Um, we'll see. But I'm gonna go try to go out and see some more horror movies for sure, even if they're retro, like reshowings or something. But yeah, dude, fuck yeah. Um, Hellraiser was a disappointment for me. There were things I liked about it, but go back and watch the earlier part of the video where I talk about it. There's the Clive Barker original was a nice, clean, like raunchy, evil, like thoughtful, insightful package of just awesomeness. And this one was just like somebody didn't really get what they were fucking doing. I mean, I thought the new Pinhead was all right and all that. I didn't think it took away anything, but it didn't improve on the character. None of the Cenobites improved on anything, I thought. I actually was missing the BDSM leather stuff. They didn't add that in, and I didn't like the main character. I thought she was annoying. The friends were not really interesting characters and stuff. So I didn't. It wasn't any worse than it was. Actually a lot better than most of the sequels. I would say after two, but I didn't think it really. I mean, it was at least we didn't get something worse than Judgment or whatever. But I just thought it didn't really advance it. The visuals, there was things in there. I liked things it did. Visuals or stuff, special effects and stuff, character design stuff in there was good. The movie, though, as itself, I thought was bloated and lacked the sexual intimacy and internal strife and struggles that made the first movie really good, which was really about desire, like weird sexual desires and intimacy with people, and the like humanity of like these struggles that people go through of good and evil, and making choices, in their life that fuck their life up, that can lead you down a bad path, and then innocence and redemption and everything was really good. And like I just fucking didn't like it, dude. It was very mediocre. It was all flash and no substance, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So now that's my opinion personally, but it is what it is. Some people thought it was really good. Oh, fuck, Hellraiser fucking crushed it. Good, but I just thought I like content, style, and character over like the fucking, you know, special effects and shit. Like I don't, the 80s stuff they did with the Hellraisers, it's like really hokey and corny, but I thought that those movies were immensely better than this reboot. Or I guess they're not calling it a reboot, a reimagining or whatever. Just didn't really have the substance there for me to really love it. But I thought it was good. So it wasn't like it was terrible or anything. But, cinema and film's evolving, and I'm an old timer. I'm 45, so maybe I'm outdated. If it gets the new generation of millennials interested in horror and that's what they like, then great, because it keeps horror going for a new generation. But I'm going to be honest, like I always say on this channel, I try to celebrate what I love. But if I'm reviewing something as it comes out, I'm always going to be honest and say I don't fucking like it. And I'm trying to be better about, putting out harsh tweets and being like, oh, it fucking sucked. Because I did that on Halloween Ends. And I was like, you know what? Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Let people enjoy it first. And then, I just have a knee jerk reaction. I'm like, oh shit, this is my opinion. And then, I feel like, okay, well, I took a big dump on somebody else's enjoyment. So I'm trying to be a little bit more self aware as far as that goes. But those are my opinions, But yeah, at the end of the day, look, we're getting more horror and more horror in the IPs that we loved so much from the 80s and shit and the 90s and stuff. So I'm always happy. I mean, even with the Slumber Party Massacre reboot, which I thought was not good at all, it was cool to see a Slumber Party reimagining or whatever. So, um, if it inspires more people to keep making horror movies, then I guess I'm okay with it. Eventually, somebody's going to get something right, you know. But anyway, I'm going to get off here in a second. I said it was going to be 5-10 minutes. It's probably already been 20. So I'm going to hop off. Blocks, thanks for chiming in. Midnight Geek, thanks. And of course, Jamie, always love to hear from you. And yeah, guys, happy Halloween time. Hope you're having a great time enjoying horror. I'm going to be getting back on for sure, doing more videos. I'm going to do the Nerd Cave walkabout, talk about everything. And I'll probably do that as like a scheduled upload instead of a live video. And then, you know, who knows? We'll just play it by ear. All right, guys. So thanks for watching. And as always, guys, stay awesome, stay R-rated. Cheers. And rock and roll Halloween and all that good stuff. Later.